Torben, can you describe the environment up here in the Yurt for our listeners that are not present with us but listening in?
Well, it's kind of like Indian teepee, except it's broader and doesn't go so high up.
Bit more like a Mongolian Yurt then.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, I think.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And outside is completely dark.
Yeah.
And it's a forest outside for miles and miles. It's just green and dark. Well, it's not green, it's dark. And the fireplace is crackling, the stove. We're sitting here on the hardwood floors. Got our teacups. Someone created a ritual with some pine cones and some plants and a candle stage of some kind. In the middle of the yurt, some kind of naturalist ritual. And we have our candles to light up. We're sitting on hard cushions on the floor in the Eastern style. We just did a little meditation, a little sun, which we probably should have recorded, but we didn't. The secret transmissions. And now we're sitting in the middle of the yurt, face to face. And we're wondering what today's topic is going to be, and we're resolved to respect the silence until something comes. If anything comes at all.
So we could be sitting here for an hour with no sound.
Indeed. And what you may experience in the spiritual life is that time is not as linear as you think. Past, present, future have already happened and are already happening and have already gone. Which means that you, the listener, listening now, even though we recorded this and then you listened to it afterwards, in terms of the real world, it's also true that you listened to it before we recorded it and while we recorded it. And what that means is that all the people who will ever listen to this are the ones who are actually determining what we will talk about now, even though they will listen in the future. Because to the spirit, time doesn't exist. And since we speak out of what arises, and what arises is connected. So everything there is, has been and will be. We are in fact speaking directly to you, listener, now. As if you were right here with us and we were right there with you. Because in terms of actual reality, you actually are and we actually are. That may not make sense right now. But as you continue on the path, you'll find that time becomes more and more strange. And you'll meet people for the first time, and yet you'll wonder if you've met them before. And while you're talking to them, you'll think back on the other time when you talked to them. Only there was no other time. This is the first time. And one of these many strange phenomena shows that you're on the path. That you are putting your foot outside of the dream. In this dream, only the dreamers are real. I am real and you are real, but nothing else. We say, Namaste. The light in me recognizes the light in you. And only that is real.
So when you were sharing with me this new Zen that you've been working on for I don't know how long.
My whole life.
Your whole life. And I want to purposely not kind of ask you to share it here. Mainly because just as I guess our ancestors have done in past, is that such truths or such spirituality could very well be best passed through an oral transmission, perhaps in person as well. And that's how I received what you shared with me just before recording this. And something that I kind of sit with now, I guess. It's just this feeling or this energy of coming home. This energy of home is always there. This awareness is always there. And that this, what you shared is very much the enlightened path. Is very much the spiritual path that we often talk about. And it goes beyond a practice, it goes beyond a meditation. It's a way of life, it's a way of being in this world. And that being transcends all things, all space, all everything. Everywhere, nowhere.
You fill up the whole universe.
Yeah. And as you guided me through this, it was really that feeling of like an atom being split and being kind of starting to read like a thread connecting to all the different kind of elements and parts, and this room or you or this kind of the wind or that you are not separate, I am not separate to one another. That underneath there's this current that is kind of threading, connecting us all as one. And you might be wondering, where does this hold place? Where is this kind of going? And we don't know. I don't know right now. And that's okay. And something that I really notice is that like there's this mind, this ego that wants to know. It wants to be in control. It wants to have certainty over the next step or the next thing and this being, this awareness is is threatening it. And as I sit here in this presence with you, Torben, I feel like a great energy to let go, to shed, to let flow this kind of, this self, this authenticity, this love that is kind of so deep within, just has so much energy there, just wants to share that with the world, with other people, to connect, to give. This feeling like this energy can keep on giving because it has no limits, it has no boundaries. It's not the mind, it's not forcing anything, it's like water flowing in a current. That water can just flow in all directions, constantly giving, because it's coming from the well of life, or like an ocean kind of. I guess I see this right now in this moment, that perhaps that's very well something that has been missing for some time. So I thank you, Torben, for guiding me home.
I thank you.
And I feel really fucking warm right now. So I'm going to take off my layer. Is this connected to the...
No, I think it's your inner jacket. Your inner shirt is connected, I think. Let's see.
Don't worry, folks. We're not getting naked here. We're just one layer off.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Just notice that, Torben.
When you come home, for many years you practice but one day you realize that even practice is something artificial, something superfluous. Even practicing is too much. You practice concentration, visualization, or a mantra. It's still too much. It does not bring you realization of the innate truth. You are one with this world. Always. Just convinced that you are not one. But you are one. Whole. Total. Not separate from the forests and the mountains, or the wood and the trees. Whatever you can see, you are that. Whatever you can hear, you are that.
Can I share a story here about
Please.
peace?
No, please.
please and peace. It speaks to what you're sharing now. It was some years ago I was a part of a Mahamudra meditation course or retreat. And after about day, I think 6 or something, the meditation master led us through a certain meditation on duality, and purposely guided us in this meditation where we would stay in the duality from the meditation and then go out there in the world and experience life through that lens. And as we were doing the meditation, I was like, oh yeah, like what's gonna... Anyway, so we were doing this meditation on duality, and the moment came to enter into the outside world, and I looked out into there was this big gum tree that was outside, and as I was staring into the gum tree, it was like I could feel its current, or feel its, as if it was an extension of me or something. And as I felt this, I could see in the tree the energetic field or something, or the current flowing through it, as if it was very much alive, as if it very much had a soul or a heartbeat, just as we have. And then I entered outside, and hear the birds singing, and again the same feeling. It was like hearing a bird for the first time in my life. The bird was chirping and it felt like I was one with the bird. I can't recommend this part here, but I started looking at the sun, just directly into the sunlight, and it was the most fascinating, not fascinating, but I was struck in awe. I was feeling like the sun was communicating to me, like shining its light through me, and I was one with the sun. And I get a sense from this experience with this meditation, this duality, is that is actually happening all the time in the world. We're just not awake enough, or we're not still enough, or whatever is happening, or the ego is loud, or whatever it is, to be able to contact that. Yet it's there. Yet every bird, every tree, every stone, every thing has a vibration, it's alive in some way, just as we are. And we're connected to everything, every person, every particle, every piece of matter in this universe, and we all affect one another in that way. And this path of spirituality is very much important in today's world, where there is violence, there is pain, there is destruction of person to person, but also to the earth that we live in. And why spirituality is important is because personally, and how I see it, is that the deeper we go spiritually, the more awake we become, the more connected we are to that of everything, that of every person, that of everything. And the less we can hurt that we are connected to. Because when we hurt that which we are connected to, we are also hurting ourselves. And so when you come from that place, when you live from that place, when you feel from that place, sense and are being in that place, what comes next is for you to choose, for you to decide. And I dare say that it will be that of love, that of goodness, that
creativity,
of compassion, joy. Creativity, joy, that of being good for others, and seeing the light within others. And those moments of waking up have never gone out in me. Once that light is alive, it can never go out. Because when you wake up in that way, you'll always be awake to some degree.
Yeah.
And that's this spiritual path is constantly leading me back home, back to this of feeling one with everything, feeling connected, feeling at home, feeling peace. And sometimes hurt, sometimes pain, right? Either way, the sensitivity, this is such a... I'm so blessed to be able to feel that vibration within other people, within emotions, within things and matter and everything in the universe.
hurt and pain is not apart from the path.
It's part of the path. It's a big part.
It's part of the path. It's whatever arises does not obscure anything. There is no enemy of awareness, not pain, not thinking. Not sleep, not anger, not even joy. There is no conflict or struggle. Whatever arises, and then eventually it disappears again. Dances for a time and then goes home. And is beauty all in itself, whether it's painful or pleasant or something else.
Torben, you shared something earlier about this awareness and about it being beyond destruction or beyond
Destruction.
Destruction?
Distraction or destruction.
That is unbreakable or something. Can you kind of share that again?
No.
Okay. For a later time.
If a demon comes, they will get a beating. And if a Buddha comes, they'll get a beating too. That's the state of mind you have to be in. Even if God himself comes down from heaven to greet you, it doesn't mean much on this path. That's how you must be. Looking at all things equally, you are not so easy to distract. But it's not something that requires effort. You were just born that way. It's not far away. You don't even have to round the corner. If you can look at the night sky and you can see all the stars at once, then that's the right state of mind. If you can be nowhere and everywhere at once, then that's it. It's not something you can practice. But if you don't try, you certainly won't find it. Home is not a place. It's not even a state of mind. Whatever you can gain, you can lose. So look for that which is neither gained nor lost. It all points to the same thing. You know what it is. Don't let confusion fool you. This thing is yours, but the confusion is not. There is a hierarchy of things. Put first things first. A sane person has never understood this. Only sages and madmen. Gods and demons. The angels do not understand. For that we pity them. For that they pity us. Awareness is spontaneous and always present. Like a candle that never goes out.
Amen.
Amen.
It's very still up here, and yet alive in energy. Spiritual energy.
Yeah. We invite you to use the silences to go within. But not just within. See if you can go without too. Because there really is no difference between inside and outside. When you think about it.
Perhaps also notice in the stillnesses, in these pauses between when we're talking, what appears in you, what shows up in you. Is it discomfort? Is it the mind wanting us to say the next words? Is it also a break, a pause for you? To listen to self, to listen to your awareness, to listen to spirit. For when we are still, when we quieten down the mind, the awareness, the authentic self can channel through, and so too can the spirit, for it is always there. For most times it's a subtleness, so subtle that we perhaps don't hear it, and yet it is always there. Sometimes it can help to actually just put your intention onto it, to ask her a question or ask her something from it, just as you do a prayer.
You may even wonder to yourself, am I aware right now? Well, are you? Awareness is always there, but are we aware of awareness? Now, aware of awareness, that sounds like quite a knot, but it's not like that. It's simply, do you know that you know? It is not a knowing. Not knowing, there is nothing that is not known. This is true unknowing. Is it meant to be intentionally complicated? It's not meant to confuse. It's just that this is not something you can understand with your mind. We cannot ask We cannot answer your questions. We can only question your answers until you're free of questions. You don't one day arrive at the answer. You just let go of the questions. And when you don't know, and you aren't trying to know, what is then not known? What could be not known? With your mind like that, which part of the universe is not penetrated? Which part of the whole are you not? Not being anywhere. Where could you not be? The mind cannot understand this. How do you know what your mind cannot understand if something greater is not observing something that does not understand? How do you know that you don't understand? Do you not see the curiosity here? The knowing. The knowing of not understanding. What about that one? Does that one not understand? It's not a frame within a frame. It's not like this. That is still playing with your mind. Just let go all of it. Like a snowflake on a hot stove, just vaporize all at once. Running this way, running that way, chasing after things and people, situations. And the wiser you become, now you chase after words and sentences, pointers and practices, putting things in a skin bag that falls apart in the test of time. When will you ever be done? Do you think this matter is learned in this way? Have you gone anywhere but further away from yourself? Have you truly gotten closer? Can you say sincerely? Practicing, concentrating, your will has become stronger. You feel more separate than ever. Nowadays, you don't even understand the common people. Can you say that you have connection? Is this what you set out to do? Were you born with any of this? Did you have this when you were born? All these contrivances, all this excremental wisdom. Can you say you are free? You have become clever, traded ignorance for cunning. Now people look to you and call you wise, but do you feel that way? You see a fool dancing in the street and you feel jealousy. So then who is really the fool? Is it you or is it him? What did you miss? Where have you gone wrong? When was the last time you danced? Did you let yourself turn to stone?
The magic of the Yurt.
Yeah.
Magic of being, seeing,
Freeing.
free to express, to dance, to play, create, to let go,
To give you some more tea.
to give you some more tea.
Turns out there is actually nothing wrong with you.
Turns out that you were whole.
All along.
Turns out there's nothing to fix.
Except the fixing itself. Typically, people laugh at the moment of enlightenment. They call it the cosmic joke. Turns out there was really nothing wrong after all. When you were a child, didn't you know this already?
That you were already enlightened.
Every child knows until the grown-ups convince them otherwise.
Yeah. I feel like that's a big part of this path, is like finding our way to that energy that when we were a child, before before thinking, before kind of rules, before parents influenced. This kind of pure energy, this pure play, this pure. It's very spiritual, spontaneity, like this very kind of moment to momentness, this pure being, pure awareness. And it's almost like on two parallels, when you're a child and almost right before death, or when somebody becomes an elder, that they abide in that energy of pureness.
You should settle it before you die. And have a little bit of fun while you're here.
Yeah.
At the moment of death, it's not so difficult to see, but why not be a little carefree while you're here? And if you weren't carefree enough, then you will not experience death. Then your mind will just hallucinate you into the next life, because you cannot stand to look at what it is. If you've kept yourself away from it your whole life, you won't see it when you die. It's too much. Then you just get a nice trip. You originally came here to find out who you were. Don't be too distracted by worldly things.
For we all have a purpose, we all have something that we're here to give to the world. Too easy it is to distract with the ego taking us off that path. And the further we go on the spiritual path, the further we develop self, or the different kind of stages, the closer we explore and embody and live that purpose. What we're here to, the unique thing we're here to give to the earth, to the people, to the oneness. And we all have a unique thing.
And if you don't know what your purpose is, remember that it is said then, it is said that when you don't know what to do, and you don't know where to go, that is when the real journey starts.
The path will reveal itself to you.
And not knowing, not understanding, that is in fact exactly right. Not knowing, not understanding is the same as knowing and understanding. You just have to trust it.
The most challenging thing about the path.
Have you ever seen a
Trusting
dog that didn't know how to wag its tail? And the path is more natural to you than that. Only you are complicated. And you are in doubt. Have faith. Build your faith day by day. That will be your most important companion. It may not be a large piece of faith today, but it will surely grow bigger every day you place a stone or two. And one day it will be a great cathedral of your own faith. This path is not learned by others. You just have to listen to yourself. It is not gained from a master. Since you were 18, you knew how to live. So when are you going to listen to it?
This is the spiritual path of guiding oneself back home to that which is always there, always has been. But this awareness, this self, this authentic self in you, this soul, is always there. Ever since you were a child, ever since you were born. You know what it's like, for you feel at home in it. The world flows through you through it. Creativity and spontaneity is sparked from this place. Love is flowed through this place. This is the enlightened path to you finding your way back home, to finding, exploring and living your purpose, to embodying that which you are here for in this earth. What an invitation and a gift to give. Any final words, Torben?
I think that was great.
I loved how slow and how many pauses there was in this. We hope you found some peace in this conversation and found some energy to go within, to feel into yourself, to your true self, to find your path back home. And we'll see you on the trail.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thanks, Torben.
I'll see you on the trail.